another vlog from my holidays in Spain. Today you join me in Cartagena, which is a town in the Murcian region of Spain. And I chose this location because it's filled with loads of Roman ruins. This town has like a Roman theatre, house, forum, temple, like so many Roman ruins to visit, so it seems like it's really historically interesting, and I'm excited to visit all of the museums here. But it's first thing in the morning, and obviously you have to start the day with breakfast, and I've just gone to this amazing bakery, which I'll put the footage in now. And we picked up some really delicious things. So we have this pastry, which is basically like a pastry with a layer of custard and like nuts on the top, and it looks really nice. And then I got some croissants, which surprisingly they're actually really good in Spain, which I didn't expect. After having lived in Paris, obviously I have very high standards for croissants, but the ones here are very good. And then I have a pastry with apples on it. So yes, I'm going to have some breakfast now, and then we'll be heading out to start exploring the museums.
So I actually arrived in Cartagena the day before, and I had already walked around to discover the area a little bit. What is lovely about Cartagena is that it is a port city, so there is a beautiful port surrounded by mountains and lined with palm trees. It was lovely to walk by the water and admire the boats and the landscape. There is also an architecture school in the city, and they happen to be having an end-of-year exhibition displaying students' work. As an architecture student myself, I had to go and have a look, because even though I was on holiday, I was really curious to compare what students do in Spain and England, and I always find it inspiring to see other projects. Then we had some paella at this amazing restaurant called Columbus. Since the town is by the sea, the seafood is fresh, and the seafood paella was incredible, and afterwards we ate some traditional cakes that were homemade and again, just very good. On the first day, we also decided to make a start with visiting museums, since there are so many in the city, so we went to the Roman Amphitheatre. Cartagena was founded by the Carthaginians in 227 BC and has been inhabited for 2 millennia. It was at its peak during the Roman Empire, and today the city is full of Roman ruins and museums displaying Roman artefacts, all remnants of its past glory. This amphitheatre was built between 5 and 1 BC and was dedicated to Gaius and Lucius Caesar, the grandsons of Augustus, who was the founder of the Roman Empire. Later, a market was built over the top in the 3rd century, and then during the 13th century the old cathedral was built over the top, and it wasn't until 1988 that the first remains of the theatre were rediscovered. The next day, which was the day that I started this vlog on, I started the day at the Casa de la Fortuna, or House of Fortune, the ruins of a 1st century Roman house named after the mosaics on the floor which read Fortuna Propitia, meaning good fortune. Since ground levels have risen since the Roman times, the museum is now located underground. Visitors can see what domestic life was like during the Roman times, and I liked that there were still fragments of wall paintings, which really brought the house to life for me. Next, after going to the Augusteum, another underground museum with the ruins of a Roman temple, we then headed to the Roman Forum, the largest urban archaeological park in Spain. What was interesting about this museum was that it was not just a single building, but the ruins of a whole network of streets and buildings. Having visited the ruins of Pompeii and Herculaneum in Italy, although the Forum was a much smaller scale, it still gave a similar feeling of being transported back in time. From the bakery with its ovens and the sanctuary of Isis, to the thermal baths and the old roads with cart tracks, this place really evokes everyday life in ancient Carthaga Nova, as the city used to be called. All of that sightseeing made us hungry, so we decided to stop for some tapas for lunch. The waiter suggested just bringing us a selection without having to order, which suited us well since we were eager to try whatever he suggested, and honestly we were so impressed with the quality and range of food he brought out. There were the classics like croquetas and patatas bravas, but also some new dishes that I'd never heard of.
Hi, so I've spent the whole morning in Cartagena just like exploring all of the museums, visiting all of the Roman ruins and everything, and for lunch I went to a tapas bar with my family, which was really good. It was kind of like a posh version of tapas, so they had lots of different plates they brought out. We didn't order anything ourselves, we just said bring tapas, and they gave us a bunch of things to try of like local traditional food, and it was really delicious, which luckily we went there before, because now we've come up to the Castillo de la Concepcion, I think it's called. I probably butchered the pronunciation of that, but it's a castle that's right on the top of a hill. But the issue is, it's 2:30, so the heat is basically like unbearable. It's the hottest point of the day. It's maybe not the best time to walk up here, but that's the town behind me. We've literally just walked up the hill and we're all very tired and hot. But we're about to walk around the castle now.
Concepcion is a hilltop fortress at the highest point in the historic city of Cartagena. Built in the 13th century, it is considered an emblem of the city and is even present on the city's coat of arms. Being located at the highest point of the city, it is the best place to go for panoramic views, which thanks to the impressive mountains and the sea were honestly breathtaking. Yes, the climb in the intense Spanish heat was difficult, but there is also a lift which provides an alternative way of getting up, and anyway, I would say that the climb is well worth it just for the views. I also loved the peacocks roaming around, and we were lucky enough to spot a peahen with a pea chick, the first time in my life that I had seen one, and honestly it was so cute. Then we headed back to the city centre for some drinks and a bite to eat, and it was nice to have a chill evening after all that walking.
Hello, so it's the next day, my second full day in Cartagena. Yesterday basically I had a really cultural day, so we went around to all of the different museums, seeing all of the Roman ruins, and it was really interesting to learn about the history of this city because there is so much to learn about, and it was a really good day, but very tiring because of the heat. So today, since it's my last full day in Spain of this holiday, we've decided to go to the beach. We're gonna kind of, sit and relax more today and make the most of the sea while we're here, have a swim, and yes, that's what we've got planned for today. There's a beach that's about a 10-minute drive outside of Cartagena that apparently is really nice, so we're going to head there now. I'm dressed for the beach today, and I'm very excited.
Não vai ter carnaval até que enfim descanso pra não passar em branco. Uma cerveja na mesa e tá bom. A fábrica de confete fechou. Ivete se aposentou.
Hi, so it's the next day. Yesterday I had such a wonderful time swimming in the sea because we went to Cala Cortina, which is a beach outside of Cartagena, but honestly it felt like a wild private beach because it was quite hidden. It was nice because you kind of go down and it's in this little bay, so since the water is protected, it's really calm and so clean, like you can see your feet all the way at the bottom when you're swimming, and it's honestly just heavenly there. And it was really nice because they had a little bar restaurant, so we sat there for drinks, although we wanted to eat there but it was really busy and apparently you had to book before, so if you hadn't reserved you couldn't eat there, which was a shame, but it was a really nice spot, so I get why it was so busy. And then afterwards we came back, showered, got ready, walked around town, which was really nice as well because in this town I feel like during the day it's very empty. It almost feels like a ghost town because there's not many people, but as soon as it hits about 8 p.m, really busy. Everyone comes out for dinner and drinks and the streets just fill with people, so it's very much like an evening nighttime town. During the day it's much emptier. And one place we did stop at when we were out was a place that sells turron, which is basically, I'll show you what it looks like. It's a bit like English nougat, and it's white and it has nuts in it, and it's made from sugar, I don't know what else, honey, and it's kind of like a gooey dessert thing. I've already had one of these, but I've got a few more to bring back to England, and they're really nice. And apparently this is a Spanish speciality, so we picked up a few of those. It was a really nice place. But yes, this morning actually I need to kind of go because we're packing and getting ready to leave because this evening we have a flight back to England, so the holiday is coming to an end, which makes me really sad, but I had a great time and I hope you enjoyed following me along as well. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel to join me in more adventures, and I will see you next time. Bye!